Hello everybody, bringing some more Smite gameplay, showing off the patch 3.11 Expelled from Hell. You can follow along by clicking the patch notes here if you're in the client, or I will put a link down in the description so that you can follow along there. We will start at the top and go to the bottom, we won't skip around. So first off is the new skins. As you can see here, the Expelled Hell skin is the newest skin. It's a 600 gem skin. It's really cool. She goes from like a schoolgirl to like this like conjuring type, not conjuring, I don't know, I like this spear thing. It's really cool.
Behind us! Oh, bummer!
Her voice pack isn't hasn't been fixed yet. It still only has like half of them. It has like just one side of it, but it's still really cool. I have a video showing it off if you guys would like to check that out. And then next up we have the newest Sun Wukong skin. It is from the season ticket reward. It is the latest one. He's like a master of elements type thing. It's really cool. His face is kind of scary, but he's really cool. His his cat, his boar, and his eagle are all different. They're wind, fire, and water, respectively. It's a really cool skin.
Defend middle lane.
I have a video for that one as well if you guys would like to see it.
Wait.
It's a pretty cool skin.
Be careful, right.
And then next up, we have the Duke Dandelions on her. This one I actually don't know how to get yet. I've tried looking on multiple websites. I don't know how to get it. It says it's going to be special promotion events, so I'm thinking a chest, but there's no chest for it. I really want this skin. It's really cool.
Set up an ambush here. My soirees are the most vivacious.
Yeah, I really want it. If you guys know, let me know. I'd like to know, because this is an awesome skin. And then after on her, we have Ratatasker's new skin. If I can learn the alphabet, it is the Squirrel Squad. It's an aviator. He's pretty cool. Little pilot Ratatasker. Personally, I like the Ratatasker one a little more, but this one's still pretty cool. It's not a 600 gem one, it's a 400 gem, so it's not totally redone like the Ratatasker one. But it does have a special voice, has a Vape Nation line, which is just terrible, but to each their own. And then next up we have the first of the tier 2 skins in this patch with Alphabet's Hard. There, I went right over him. It's the Mercury one. It is Centurion. It's pretty cool. 250 gems like all the other tier 2s. Pretty cool. It's not my favorite tier 2, but it's not bad. And then we have the latest Chiron skin. There he is. Skins. It is the Constable Moose Jaw. It is something else. It's a Canadian skin. He's a moose. It is ridiculous and funny. I have a video for this one as well. It is pretty awesome. And then we have Susanoo has his masteries. I really like the card art. It's really cool. And it's just really well done. The blade is all gold. There's a close-up of it. I really like that card art. I might have to get that. I do have a lot of favor to use. And here is that one. And then his diamond. Very cool. It's like a turquoise blue. That's awesome. Very cool looking. And that is all the skins, so we will go into achievements. The latest two for Opwash, Rise My Pretties, as Opwash release 100 zombies in one match. So just get cooldown and spam zombies. And then his other one is Corpse, aka Landmines, is as Opwash blow up and hit an enemy with 6 corpses in one cast of Corpse Explosion. I don't think I've ever done that. I think the most I've done is like 4 or 5, so that one might be a little more difficult to get. But if you can stack that many up, that'll be awesome. And then Fafnir has 2. Take that as Fafnir slower kill 3 or more enemy gods at a single time using Cursed Strength. That one sounds like it'd be a little tough to get. And then as Fafnir, boost all of your allies' power and attack speed in a single match using Course. So just use his 2 on everybody. And then Fenrir has 2. End of days. As Fenrir, have an ally kill an enemy god that you have grabbed using Ragnarok. So just grab someone and have your allies kill him. And then Unleash the Beast. As Fenrir, stun or kill at least 3 enemies with a single use of Unchained. I mean, that one doesn't sound too hard. Just gotta make sure you're landing your Unchained and stun or kill 3 people at once. And then there's a new avatar that is the cutesy Amuzen Cobb. Wherever this is. I don't know if it's in here. Nope. So I don't know how to get that one. That's probably a special promotion as well. Get it through like a code or something like that. And then there's a bunch of miscellaneous changes. The escape menu has undergone a visual update. I've gone over that in one of my skin videos. It's pretty cool. It looks very sleek and nice. And then they implemented a pop-up notification when you receive a chat/friend notification while Smite is not in focus. So if you're alt-tabbed waiting for a queue, you'll be like shown up a little message like when your queue pops or your game starts. You've gotten a message. And then they've implemented a coupon system for purchases. So how that works is the first one they're doing is for the Infiltrator Loki skin. And how it works is if you don't own the god, but you buy this skin, you get a coupon for the god and the voice pack. It's like 50% off. So that'll be nice. So if you don't own them already. And I don't think it's on everyone, it's just like a kind of random thing that'll happen. So that's nice. And then they updated the unlock button in God's page to be more visible. Probably if you don't have them, I guess I don't know what that looks like anyway, so to people who don't have that, it's been updated. And now to the item changes. Bloodforge is being reduced movement speed from 20% to 10% while Blood Shield is active, so when you get a kill you won't be moving quite as fast, because that was rather strong. And then Demonic Grip and the Executioner are seeing buffs. Why did I get disconnected? Well, I will be right back. Okay, and we're back. Sorry about that. My internet decided to crash, so that was awesome. So we're talking about Demonic Grip and the Executioner are getting a buff. They're both going from stacks now provide 12% reduction and cap at 3 stacks, changed from 8% reduction at 4 stacks. So both Executioner and Demonic Grip are seeing an increase in the amount of shred they provide per stack at the cost of 1 stack. They should allow these items to provide their benefit more quickly, as well as share the shred with your team, allowing them to be better compete with other pen options. So you'll be able to apply it more effectively sooner, because there wasn't often you were just landing 4 shots and without them dying. So this provides it so that it's a little faster, so you don't have to land as many shots and do more. And Throwing Dagger and Golden Bow are receiving a slight nerf. Throwing Dagger reduce the physical power from 25 to 15, and then the Golden Bow is just reduced from 55 to 50, because it's been doing really, really well. It's kind of like the only way to go right now. There are some Transcendence builds that are still working, though. And then Mark of the Vanguard is seeing a few adjustments to make it more enticing start option. By moving the magical protection to raw physical protections and adding a small amount of sustain, this item is better equipped to deal with early game physical damage from minions and other physical characters. Because that's what happens, like as a support, that's generally what takes the Mark of the Vanguard. They'll poke at the enemy, and then they'll get all the aggro from the minions. So they increase the physical protection from 5 to 10, remove the magical protections, and added 5 HP 5. So after they take the poke, they can heal it up, and they don't take as much. Soul Reaver is getting a nerf buff. It's interesting, we'll see how that goes. It looks like it could be good, and could be not, depending on how you're playing. So with Soul Reaver, we wanted to adjust 2 key issues. The first was readability, so the visual effect for those who get hit by it was adjusted to be easier to see. The second issue was that often players who go Soul Reaver would have to restrict themselves from dealing damage to save their burst. While knowing when to use this passive is key for the item, allowing it to happen more often can enable players to feel less punished by spending the proc if they find a good chance to compensate for this. The passive damage is going down slightly for the Soul Reaver. So they updated the visual effects so you can know more when it happens. And then the passive damage reduced from 15% to 10%, so they'll be doing a little bit less damage, but the passive cooldown reduction from 60 seconds to 40 seconds. You'll be able to do it more often, but it won't be hitting as hard. And Ao Kuang, God changes now. Water Illusion functions as a great escape tool that can punish enemies who get close, but in many cases the offensive use of this ability in conjunction with the damage from Wildstorm was giving him a bit too much damage. The base damage and scaling for this ability is receiving a hit to both adjust the early game and late game use of this ability. So damage reduced from 90 to 290 to 70 to 270. So about 20 damage, which isn't a ton, but it should fit him more in line so he's not doing as well. And then the magical power scaling reduced from 70 to 60, so it just wants scale as well. And then Jing Wei. Her explosive bolts fixed an issue where explosive bolts could miss enemies at max range. So just wouldn't hit them if you're at the max range, even if it would have it if it wasn't a bug. So Osiris is Judgment Tether. Judgment Tether is one of Osiris's primary tools at engaging enemies. After forcing them to flee or reducing damage for enemies who choose to stay, we are reducing the cooldown of the skill to allow Osiris to have more opportunities to use this ability in a given engagement. So it'll just be up more often. The cooldown is reduced from 18 to 15 seconds. It'll be good because I think it was how it was is it wouldn't go on cooldown until after it had been used, or like if you had used on someone, got this done, and then it would go on a cooldown. But now it'll be better. It'll work a lot more. And hopefully that helps Osiris. He hasn't been doing bad, but not as high up as others. And now to Ratatasker. This Sly Messenger is recovering an additional adjustment around his passive. We are reducing his heal to better position it as a light sustain tool rather than a semi-potent burst heal. Additionally, we are fixing a hitbox issue with Acorn Blast that will impact his performance, notably making the Acorn Blast stun more difficult to confirm at middle to far ranges. So the Acorn of Yggdrasil, his passive, healing reduced from 20 to 15, and the scaling reduced from 40 to 30. And then his Acorn Blast fixed an issue where it just projectiles were too large and not matching their visual effects. And then to Sano. With this patch, we wanted to help make enemies who are fighting him have the tools to keep track of him in an engagement, as well as look to tone down some of his damage and cooldown reduction in Stormkata and Jetstream. So Stormkata, his 1 damage reduced from 70 to 210 to 55 to 195. So just 15 damage, and then the dash speed reduced and his dash length increased from 30 to 4. So it's a farther dash, but slower, which is good because he could dash very quickly. His Jetstream has updated to the sound effects for this ability's teleport, increased cooldown of Jetstream after Susano teleports to an enemy from 6 to 8 seconds. This is still unaffected by cooldown reduction. And then Thanatos. Thanatos is receiving some love for his Soul Reap, his 3 that silences, allowing it to have more of an impact in the mid and late game where the wind up of this ability can be more punishing. So its scaling increased from 60 to 70%. Should just put him in a better place. And then the last god for this patch, Ymir. Hi, Ymir excels as a character that can bully players with his club and strong base damage abilities, but he often struggled to maintain a powerful frontline presence in the mid to late game, unless he got really far ahead, obviously. Frostbite now decreases the damage dealt by those affected in addition to what it already does, which should not only allow Ymir to survive in the front line more reliably, but give him a nice tool to help his team in as the game progresses. So his passive, that characters that are frozen by his abilities, they're usually slowed, take a little bit more damage from his basic attacks, and now they will be affected by Frostbite, now deal 10% less damage to all targets, which will be really, really good. So if they're engaging on your team, Ymir can freeze them, use his ultimate, put down his 2, and it should help his team survive a little more. Make it so he can peel a little better. I think it's great. It'll help Ymir out a lot, hopefully, because he's good. He hasn't seen a lot of play lately. I haven't seen him in a while, like people actually picking him up. But that is the 3.11 patch, the Expelled from Hell. It's a pretty good patch. I like it. Lots of good skins, some good stuff happening. If there's anything else I missed or anything you'd like to see, just let me know. You can follow along, again, by clicking here in the client, or I'll put a link down in the description, and it has all the information if you want to just skip ahead to the things you care about. I thank you guys for watching if you stuck around this long. Sorry for the little break in the middle. My internet crashed. But I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Thank you so much for watching.